The SGC Foundation is grounded on the principles that you don't need a title to be a leader and you can't have too much fun helping children. As such, the foundation provides fun and recreationally related activities that benefit children. The foundation's focus is to bring individuals and organizations together into a partnership where all are treated as equals, with the end result of making today and tomorrow a better place for children of all ages. Most importantly, it's all for the kids. And remember, if it ain't fun, we ain't doing it. To donate to the SGC Foundation, please go to www.sgc-foundation.org. Thank you for your support.
Welcome to It's All for the Kids. I got Tristan Eldridge all the way from Panama City Beach, and he didn't get blown away in the hurricane. How's it going?
It's going well. We were very fortunate. But obviously our prayers are with lots of other people that I don't think anybody in the Carolinas or the Tennessee, Eastern Tennessee, were ready for what came towards them. That was absolutely terrible.
Oh, I know that. I was in Nashville when that whole storm kind of hit, getting out on that Friday, right? And, a couple people had to were supposed to fly through Tampa to get to where they were going, even going back north. So had to call Southwest and get them flipped to where they ended up fly through St. Louis to get back to where they were going. So,
yeah, gotcha.
They messed up a lot. So, So I'm glad you reached out to us. It's kind of, we've ended up joining the Chamber of Commerce down there. And
okay.
And a lot of people like you and, Tom Voris, that we're doing the whole tournament down there for, charity deal for helping kids with terminally ill children and everything. So tell me, man, are you coaching kids? I mean, because I seen where pickleball, and I be an old fart, okay? So I didn't even know pickleball existed for like the past 20, 30 years. And where kids are doing in high school and colleges now, or even have teams that they're competing against and getting scholarships. I mean, ESPN's come out with a channel now for pickleball. I mean, so I guess you're right in the heart of it there.
Yes, I think I kind of came into pickleball like a lot of people, Steve, during COVID.
Okay.
Because a lot of us were playing tennis, and when COVID hit, the USTA shut down all their leagues.
Wow.
And so quite a few people that were so used to, going out to the tennis courts with their friends and on a Tuesday night or a Thursday night, they started, we were like, well, what can we do? And that's when somebody told me about pickleball. They said, hey, why don't we start playing pickleball? And we were all like, what's that? And this was in 2019, or 2020. It was not long ago. And what you might not know about pickleball, and I did not know about pickleball, was that it was created in the mid 60s in Bainbridge, Washington, which is a little island off of Seattle.
Well, I know where it is because I've been to the military bases out there.
There you go. So, wow. I mean, it's been around forever. And then when I started playing it, I was like, wait a minute, I think I played this in elementary school. And so I still stay in touch with one of my coaches, teachers from then. And I reached out to him and he said, yeah, we were showing you that in the late 70s in gym class. So, but I don't remember it from back then really. But so that's how I got started.
Sweet. So you coaching, I mean, now that you've been playing enough, right? Because going from tennis to this,
yes,
court's a little bit smaller. And
it is. So that's what's really interesting, Steve. And I'll tell you, if you have time, I'll tell you a humorous story.
Yeah.
The first time this group of guys, now we're all 4-0, 4-5 tennis players, we decided to play pickleball. The week after COVID, the USTA shut down their leagues. So we show up to the court and somebody brought us paddles and a ball. I mean, nobody had anything. And we tried to play pickleball like tennis. We threw the ball up in the air and overhead served it. And we didn't know you couldn't serve and volley. So we just thought it was full court tennis on a small court. And then the next week we showed up and this guy goes, look, I looked up the rules and we're doing it all wrong. So So we looked at the rules. We spent about 15 minutes watching this little YouTube video, and then we were like, well, that's not any fun. And that's how the journey began. Reached out to my dad, who now is 81. So he was in his late 70s. He used to be a former racquetball player.
Okay.
And I said, hey, Dad, you ought to really check this out. I think this is a slower paced game. And with all your racket skills, I think it would transfer really well to you on the court. So he's like, oh, well, let me tell you, So I got my dad playing, and he's still playing. 81, plays 3 times a week. He goes down to a couple different places in Chattanooga, back where I'm from, and he's 3 times a week. 81, he's out there getting on it. So it's a great sport.
Yeah, they say if you stay active at everything, your brain stays active, your body does, and you live a lot longer. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm telling you that.
There you go. There you go. It's such a social sport, Steve. It's probably the most social sport that I have been involved in, and I've played every sport known to man, organized, except for I played flag football, but I've never played it at a higher level. But baseball, soccer, basketball, swimming, I've done a lot of the major sports all the way through the collegiate level. So this is a sport that is unique in that it transcends all ages and fitness abilities. And no other sport can really tout that. So like I said, my dad and I, who's 81, and I'm 55, we can get together and play on a court with each other or against each other against other players who might be 2 females or there might be 2 teenagers, right? It really doesn't matter because the size of the court, which is noticeably smaller,
right,
and using a wiffle ball, it slows it down but makes it compact so that even people with limited mobility or age restrictions can still get out and have fun and feel like they're participating at some level. Now, some are a little, at a lower skilled level, and now we're seeing it on TV at the pro level. And those guys are phenomenal. Those men and women, sorry, I don't want to say guys. Those men and women are absolutely phenomenal. What they can do. I think I'm pretty good until I watch them, and then I realize I'm not as good as I'd like to think I am.
Hey, I know at 68, baby, I'm like, hey, man, I'm going to play doubles because I don't have to run from side to side, right?
And that's it. That's it. It truly is. It's not as.
And another thing we joke about, Tristan, is we got a paddle in one hand and we got a cocktail in the other.
Yep. Well, so I don't know. Let me pull my shirt up here. Focus right here. These words. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out how do I do nope. There we are. Here we are. Right here. This is my logo that I created. And right here, the words are dinking and drinking. And there's a paddle cocktails right here and paddles over here. And that's on the logo I created when I came down here to the beach. Boy, sorry. I know this is weird, but better at the beach. Pickleball is better at the beach, dinking and drinking. So I get you. We're in alignment.
Yeah, we got it.
We might be spirit brothers.
We are. Because if it ain't fun, we ain't doing it,
That's right. That's right.
When you reached out to us about everything and, you're like, hey, I've got connection to like 300 people. And, this is going to be our 3rd one, right? That we're hosting down there on the 23rd of October down there in Panama City. Okay.
Yes.
So we did one in Phoenix. There was only a few people. Then we just finished Nashville that we had like about 15 people. And now we're coming to Panama City. We've got, Bear Paradise Property. Say that fast 3 times.
All right, I know. I'm not going to do it. Hadn't had enough coffee yet to do that efficiently.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to be there and, started at 2:00 to like 6:00 and then go to the beach for a bonfire. So anybody that wants to come can play. And, you asked me some questions and I don't know if you set me up when you sent those questions.
Nah.
or some of your buddies sent me some emails asking me some questions, but all I know is you offered to help. So I just want you to know, man, you're looped in now, buddy. You can't hide, okay?
Well, that's just part of my nature. That's who I am. As I get older, Steve, I feel like my more of my natural life attributes seem to rise to the surface a little easier.
Well,
And
I'm glad they
I'm by
all do.
nature, yeah, I'm by nature a helper. That's just my nature. So being a coach fits right in, really aligns with, helping people. Part of my other business that I do is I'm a life coach. So I'm not only a physical coach, but I'm a life coach as well. So I've spent a vast majority of my lifetime and my career, if you want to call it that way, helping people become the best versions of themselves, whether it's on the pickleball court or it's in life.
Well, super cool because, like I said, because somebody sent me an email, okay?
Yes,
And we're
sir.
going to figure this out together because I already know that I can do the golf tournament, figure that all out. Pickleball is a whole new avenue since we started in January, right?
Yes, sir.
And it's a guy that lives in Destin, Florida. Okay,
All
so
right.
it's a drive over to where we are, right? I mean, at least a good hour, maybe hour and a half from Destin over to Panama City Beach, depending on traffic on 98, Highway 98.
Yeah, it's about an hour. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So anyway, he asked some questions like, okay, is it double elimination? All right. Is it round robin?
Right.
And you and I had this conversation, like maybe 3 hours before this email pops up. Okay.
All
So I'm
right.
like, okay, Tristan, what are you up to? Because he said double elimination, and I'm used to like, okay, we're going to get people to play. And somebody once said when we were first setting this up, right, that if we had 20 people, one court, playing 4 hours, that you could play, somebody'd win a match, win the next match, then they'd sit out. And then eventually you come to the winners and narrow down to who won, right?
Correct.
I'm like, and this guy's like, well, if it's double elimination, I'm not driving over. And I'm like, dude, you're way above my head right now because I'm just trying to get people to come, have a good time. We got
Right.
grilling food, gonna have cocktails. There's a pool of people when they're not playing pickleball can hang out in the pool, drinking cocktails, tell stories, live music going.
Right.
And when he started asking all these technical questions, I'm like, I'm calling Tristan and go, okay,
Yeah.
tell me what we're doing here, buddy, because I ain't got a clue what we're gonna be doing.
Right. So in the pickleball world, there are three types of pickleball players. I'm playing with my fingers on the phone. Three types of pickleball players.
Right.
There are people that play socially. They really don't care if they get better. They're not taking lessons.
Right.
They're just out there to have fun and socialize.
Right.
And a lot of people start and a lot of people start there because they're like, nah, I don't know if I like it or not. Well, then they get what we call they get bit by the bug is what we call it, the pickleball bug, and now they've got an infection and they're addicted. And so they start on a journey. They go from casual social playing to now it's what we call competitive group play, which is kind of what I did, which is you go to your local courts, whether they be a municipality-owned courts or privately owned courts, and you go on a certain day and a time, and you're playing with basically the same people who show up the same day and time. And now it's kind of like it's back being in elementary school, where you want to be the best in the schoolyard, right? Remember those races? Remember when we were kids and you wanted to be the fastest guy and you want to be able to do the most somersaults or whatever. Well, there's that group of people that all they really care about is, hey, on Tuesday mornings from 8 until 11, how many people can I beat during that time at this playground? And then you have the third group, and that's the tournament. That's the tournament pickleball group. These are people who they play the sport and practice and drill and get a coach involved because they really want to test themselves and see how far they can go. And they enter in tournaments and stuff. So the gentleman that you're talking to, he's in that third group. And anytime you hear of a pickleball tournament, which this is not a tournament, this is a fundraiser. they immediately go, okay, what's the format? What am I winning? What kind of medal do I get? Et cetera, et cetera. So trying to get the word out that this particular event that we're putting on for the kids is more of a social fundraising event. It's a time, like you said, we're raising money for the kids. We're having fun. We're doing something that someone enjoys, which is pickleball, and you're networking and socializing and having fun at the same time.
You know, and the reason why we called it a mixer was funny because when we started in Phoenix in this past May, okay, it was like, do we call it a tournament? You know, because we call golf a tournament, right?
Right.
And then we started to think about it. We're like, well, if we call it a tournament, we're going to get the same questions and response that we do for the golf, right?
Correct.
People are going to go, look, man, I only play once a year.
Right.
I don't play well. I don't think I can participate. So then we got to explain to them that, hey, it's a carnival with a little bit of golf. Mainly you're coming out. If you can drive a golf cart and drink a cocktail, you can play in the tournament, right? Because you got 4 people.
There you go.
It's a scramble. You're going to have a blast. We're going to raise money for the kids. And most of them, you know, there isn't a big prize at the end of the rainbow. You know, whoever wins it, you get bragging rights. Basically.
I get it.
So we called it a mixer because when we were going to do this, say at Chicken and Pickle, you know, that organization that has a bunch of pickleball courts and restaurants and everything
across
the country. It started in Kansas City.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you call it a mixer? And we're like, oh man, that's perfect. Because then if we want to, we could get the logo with the dream catcher, do a martini glass, right?
Yes, sir.
Mixer. So by calling it a mixer, we even get people now questioning it because there's a guy that reached out to Tom Voris and he said, mixer, is this like, you know, do I get to pick my partner? Is it a female? Is it what age and all this? And, you know, and then of course Tom Voris is like, I don't know if this guy's just dumb or what. You know, it's a mixer. We're coming out to have a great time and fun. No, it's not a dating mixer type thing, you know? So,
right.
You know, and you're right. It's all about having fun, that you're going to come out, have a great time, meet some more people that are out there and grow from there, like you say, and raise money to help terminally ill kids. Because the registration fee of $100, if you register single, and of course, like golf, if you got to force them, you kind of discount it a little bit. So if there's 2 of you going to come play, it's like $180, so it's $90 a piece. You know, you're going to get some food, some drink in that price. And now that, but you're getting a paddle. You know, you're getting a custom carbon paddle that's in that price. So, you know, I'm like, for $100, you can't, you know, that's what a normal paddle would cost, just a paddle. So, you know, you're going to get everybody. My philosophy is everybody that comes to play gets the bulk of the money that's able to be given out that doesn't go to the kids, rather than somebody that goes and plays round robin or double elimination that they get. Because like you said, I've seen people that play pickleball, that I've seen buddies that all have these ribbons with a medal that hang around like the Olympics, right?
Correct.
And they're wearing, and I'm laughing because, you know, they're wearing their spandex, you know, compression shorts or compression leotards underneath their shorts to be able to play, you know.
Oh, listen, they take it seriously. We're just, you know, just because it looks like an old person sport, and I say old person because,
hey, that's
you know,
okay,
I qualify for ARP now, so I'm old now.
Hey, dude, I got you by 13, 14 years, okay, baby? I'm 68 going on 69. So we're also claiming that this event down there is Stevie's 69th birthday, because my birthday's like the 1st of November. So this is actually going to be toes in the water, ass in the sand, beach party, birthday party, all down there for 3 days. So
excellent. You can't argue with that, buddy. Can't argue with that.
You know, and that's what I said. So when this guy sent me this email, I didn't know how to respond back. So I said, well, I'm going to talk to my buddy Tristan to see how I respond back. Because number one is I know we're not doing double elimination. Okay.
No.
And round robin could be that because people are playing and you get to play 2 games or whatever you call it. And then you sit so that somebody else comes in and rotate around to come back. I can see where it could be called round robin, right? And then
Right. I think the best way we're going to handle this is we're going to wait until we see who shows up day of, right? Instead of trying to
Exactly.
figure it out ahead of time. So once we know who's going to be here and how many players there are, then right there on the spot, really easily, we can quickly come up with a round robin bracket series where, and again, if we have 80 people show up, we're going to have single elimination. You play and you lose, you're out of continuing on playing pickleball, but that doesn't mean you're out of having fun and socializing and listening to
Right.
music and hanging out, right? So
Exactly.
it's not a lose-lose. It's just my pickleball game is over. But if we have 40 people show up, then we should be able to have a double elimination. Games are to 11, win by 2. And that typically, depending upon the skill range of people, can last anywhere from 10 minutes to 20 minutes
Right.
per game.
Exactly. And like when we played in Nashville, of course, Stevie, I ain't playing in that category. I'm probably not even in the second category. Okay. I'm still down that lower level. I'm just having fun going and seeing if I can hit the balls. And hey, look, at
Exactly.
61 years old, look, when I played in Phoenix, Stevie did go for one and fall. Okay. I happen to be one of them guys that fall and skin up a knee. Didn't twist no ankle. Didn't, didn't break no bones. But
Right.
I'm like, hey, man, I'm going to play doubles. And if the ball's close enough and I get it, good. But I ain't running all the way across court to go get it, And
I understand.
But here's what's really cool that I'm going to tell a story here that happened in Nashville. Okay,
Sure.
so one of the kids that we helped in St. Louis that had grandma seizures. Okay, and had to have a third of his brain removed when he was like 5-7 years old. I forget what age it was. Okay,
Wow.
Because one hemisphere of the brain, right? Left hemisphere, right hemisphere.
Correct.
And the right one was the bad one, the left one, and the doctors came. And of course, the father, comes and videotapes a lot of our stuff, does a lot of stuff with us. And Peyton's now 27 years old, which really makes me feel old. Okay. And holding down a job, of course, he lives at home and everything because of, having that. But the doctor said, hey, we're going to have to cut this out. And of course, the father said, Gary said, hey, look, I thought you said this is way, severe, dangerous and everything else. And the doc says, well, it's now creeping into the other hemisphere. We're going to have to do something. So fast forward to Nashville. They're down there videotaping, and we're promoting, now the next one down in Panama City.
Right.
And Peyton's got a brace on his left leg. One hand is not, totally, functional like the other. Okay.
Right.
But he's out there playing pickleball. Okay. He gets out there, hits the ball, does everything, and his coordination and everything, and building his coordination up and everything. His dad turns to me and says, hey, Stevie, let me purchase 2 of the paddles because this is unbelievable of what it's done for Peyton's coordination and everything.
Right.
So, it's that whole bit of where do you go and what are we doing and what's the purpose, right?
I get it.
What, are we going to do double elimination? Are we going to give out trophies? Are we going to give out ribbons? Because we don't know, like you say, we may get 10, 15 of the kids that are terminally ill that want to play, and let them come play because it's open
Exactly.
to everybody, So that's where we stand. That's what we're doing. And I'm glad that you found us or we found you.
Yeah, likewise.
We're going to have
for
a blast
sure.
because the whole deal is Tuesday night, we're going to the Salty Goat, hang out for a little bit for live music and everything to kick the whole deal off. Wednesday in the afternoon, we're doing the pickleball, at the Bear Paradise, Salty
Susan.
Salty
Susan.
Salty
And
Susan.
you know how I know that? I
Okay.
remember that name because that's my wife's name. Susan.
Oh, well, then you got it made perfectly. So,
and every once in a while, Steve, she's a little salty.
Okay. All right. Hey, you heard it here, folks. So
it may have something to do with something I said or did, but it comes across salty.
I hear you. I totally understand that. So that's Wednesday afternoon. We're gonna end it about 6:30 or so.
Right.
Drive over to the beach for the bonfire over there by the Hampton and Suites Beachfront Hotel, where we've done the bonfire before with food and adult beverages on the beach with music and everything.
It's gonna be a great time.
Yeah. And then, of
It's
course,
going to be a great time of fun, meeting new people, socializing, networking. And once again, Steve, we're doing this for kids just like the young kid that you described, and that's kind of where my passion is. I'm really glad I found you because last year I got so I am certified. There's really two major certification, coaching certification bodies in the United States. The PPR is one, and then the other is the ITPA, IPTPA. It's a lot of initials. It's an
Okay.
international pickleball training. So
Right.
I went with the IPTPA. I'm a level 2 certified, which, well, that just means I can coach higher skilled players. But I got my junior certification. There was a lot of steps to go through that, background checks and whatnot,
Right.
and being able to know you can work with kids and sometimes working with youth. In the training, you come at it differently and approach it differently than you do adults. But my passion, I'm working on my special needs certification, which will help me work with people with disabilities. So that's where I see my next place of coaching going. I would rather work with the youth and people with disabilities because that's just where my passion is.
I understand. That's like us when we started the foundation back in 2004, right? We said, okay, we're going to do this. Well, we knew we weren't going to raise millions of dollars for American Cancer Society, right? So where can you go that's going to make a difference with the amount of money that you're going to do? Because we're not going to get as big as, St. Jude's and others, okay?
Sure.
So that we started the first 2 tournaments we did, that we did things for was for St. Jude's because their contract was the easiest. Make a Wish was like an inch thick, and it wanted to know your blood type and how much money you're going to give them, or write a blank check before you even hosted the event. Okay.
Wow.
So then, and fast forward to 2007, Katrina happens. Talk about hurricanes. Okay.
Yeah.
So Katrina hits New Orleans. The federal government's going down there where we're part of the conference and do the tournament around the energy conference. And we bump into the VP of marketing for Children's Hospital in New Orleans, and the rest is history because St. Jude said it had to be all them or nothing. They couldn't split the money, even though it was the same function, same type of organization, right? So they gave us 10 reasons why we should use the local Children's Hospital in New Orleans. And we said, okay, we got it now because now
makes
we're part
sense.
of the community. So by us coming down to Panama City Beach, fast forward again, because everybody wants to know, how does this happen, Steve? You got a plan? I go, I ain't got no plan. Okay, there is no agenda plan. All of a sudden, JC that does the beach wagon says, hey, maybe you should talk to Jackie, I think it is, the marketing VP, director of marketing for the beach, Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce. And so I call, reach out, and it's like $275 for a nonprofit. You can be a member of the chamber. I'm like, sign me up. And by doing that, now I found you, I found Tom Voris, I find out people that do, the banners, all kinds of stuff down there, and we get more people to participate. And like you say, to help the kids where our hearts are. So
there we go.
I am so glad to see you somewhat, here, on our good old electronics, right?
Right.
And be down there shortly. And like I said, we're sending you a paddle, one of the foundation's custom carbon paddles for you to use, and see what you think.
Excellent. Yeah, I'll be happy to looking forward to getting it and testing it out and playing with it at the event.
And like I said, it's carbon, and matter of fact, it was like, the minimum order was 50, so it was a lot easier than some of them that wanted you to buy, 150 to 200 paddles.
Right. I understand.
And, now they even say, do you want to buy 1,000 balls, like $1, a ball plus setup, whatever, to have your logo on the balls. But we haven't gone that far. But we might break into, because we got our logo on golf shoes, we might break into the pickleball shoe market. Put the logo on the pickleball shoes and clothing.
Yeah.
And, get some of your T-shirts, because I love that dink and drink.
Dinking and drinking.
Man, I tell you what, Tristan, it's really cool. Say, so if anybody down there wants to find you, you know, for life coach or pickleball coach, how do they find you? What's your email address or website?
Yes. So my life coaching website is journeyofauthenticity.com.
Okay.
Journeyofauthenticity.com. And the way I came up with that was I believe that we are all at some point in time in our life, we're wanting to find out who we really are. Who are we truly? And so, and I call it all being authentic to yourself. So I usually, what I do is I meet somebody, and in my life coaching, we go on a journey together. I describe it as a journey. Hey, I'm here to walk with you, maybe a mile, maybe 5 miles, maybe for the next year. But we're on a journey to help you with your authenticity. So journeyofauthenticity.com is my life coaching. And pickleball, I'm just on Facebook, Tristan PB Coach. Tristan PB is in pickleball coach. You'll look. I look like this on, so you'll see me there. I'm currently the head teaching pro at Latitudes Margaritaville Water Sound, which is a 55 plus community here in the Emerald Coast.
That's awesome. And like, you know, like the event's coming up. It's going to be
Yes, sir.
October 23rd, 24th. Anybody can go to sgc-foundation.org to register.
Right.
See Tom, see me, see Tristan down there at the event.
Yeah. Come say hi.
20th.
Come introduce yourself. And
Exactly.
hopefully somebody has a connection for me for working with the kids, or somebody with a disability that would like to learn to play pickleball. Please reach out and contact me. I would love to get I'd love to be connected somehow, for sure.
And I can see where this is going to go, because I can see Tom Voris that has the terminally ill kids come down to go out to go swimming with the dolphins or go fishing, or that Tiki Island pontoon boat.
Sure.
There's going to be some that are going to want to be able to play pickleball, hit the ball, do different things. So I can see where you and Tom get connected to helping terminally ill kids, because you both can match up. And it all starts like this, and then October 23rd, like I said, that Wednesday afternoon, we're going to do the pickleball. And then Thursday morning is the golf on the 24th. So basically it starts Tuesday night, the 22nd, and goes through the 24th, because we'll find something to do to celebrate raising the money for the kids on that Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening, even if it's just putting our feet up, on the sand on the beach, So, hey, Tristan, we're going to have a blast. That's all I got to say, because if it ain't fun, we ain't doing it.
Well, anybody that comes up with a slogan that says toes in the water and ass in the sand has to be a fun organization.
You got it. And hey, we're gonna see you in a few weeks. And
yes,
Tristan,
sir.
Just go out there and hit some more balls, baby.
Let's do it, man. I appreciate it, Steve. You have yourself a great day.
I will. You do too. Unfortunately, you get to be on the beach and I got to be in an office,
Hey, somebody has to do it, man. Somebody.
But I'm going to go hit some golf balls, because the rain is kind of like subsided. So I'm going to go hit some golf balls this afternoon.
All right. Well, Steve, until we see each other again.
You got it, my brother.